1. Introduction: the cholesterol paradox after 50. Imagine this: you're sitting in your doctor's office for your annual checkup. You feel fine, more than fine, actually. You've been walking daily, eating more vegetables, even cutting back on desserts. Then the doctor looks at your blood test results, frowns slightly, and says, your cholesterol is high. We should put you on medication. For decades, we've been told that high cholesterol is the villain in heart disease, the silent killer lurking in our bloodstream. But here's the twist: emerging research suggests the story is far more complicated. In fact, in people over 50, some forms of cholesterol may not be as dangerous as we once thought, and in certain cases, they might even play a protective role. This is the cholesterol paradox. Some people with high cholesterol live into their 90s with no heart problems. Others with normal cholesterol levels have heart attacks in their 50s. And new science is challenging the old lower is always better rule. In this video, we're going to unpack what cholesterol really means after midlife, why your numbers might not tell the whole story, and what your doctor might not be explaining, either because the science has changed, or because our medical system still works off decades-old assumptions. 2. Why cholesterol becomes a bigger conversation after midlife. Cholesterol talk ramps up after 50 for several reasons. 1. Natural metabolic shifts. As we age, our liver produces cholesterol differently, our hormone levels change, and our cells don't process fats as efficiently. This often leads to higher LDL and total cholesterol levels, even if your diet hasn't changed much. 2. Hormonal changes. In women, menopause brings a sharp drop in estrogen, which previously helped maintain favorable cholesterol profiles. In men, testosterone gradually declines, subtly influencing lipid metabolism. These shifts can change the ratio of HDL to LDL and increase triglycerides. 3. Cumulative lifestyle effects. The cholesterol in your 50s reflects decades of diet, activity, stress, and sleep patterns. Even if you feel healthy, your cardiovascular system may have been under strain for years. 4. The healthcare focus. Doctors are more likely to check lipid panels regularly after 50 because cardiovascular disease risk rises sharply. The conversation is partly medical necessity, but it's also shaped by public health campaigns that emphasize cholesterol as a primary risk factor. The nuance: while cholesterol is one piece of the puzzle, focusing only on the numbers can be misleading. Two people with identical cholesterol levels can have very different risks depending on inflammation, insulin resistance, blood pressure, and lifestyle factors. 3. Understanding the different types: LDL, HDL, VLDL, and more. The word cholesterol is often used as if it's one thing, but in reality, it's transported through your bloodstream in different types of particles. 1. LDL, low-density lipoprotein. Often called bad cholesterol because high levels are linked with arterial plaque. But LDL is not inherently bad, it's the type and size of LDL particles that matter most. Small, dense LDL, more likely to penetrate arterial walls and trigger inflammation. Large, fluffy LDL, less harmful and sometimes benign. 2. HDL, high-density lipoprotein. Labeled good cholesterol because it helps transport cholesterol back to the liver for recycling or disposal. However, more HDL isn't always better. Extremely high HDL in some people may be dysfunctional and not protective. 3. VLDL, very low-density lipoprotein. Carries triglycerides and is strongly linked to heart disease risk. Often rises with diets high in refined carbs and sugar. 4. Lipoprotein A. A genetic variant of LDL that's highly atherogenic. Rarely tested in routine checkups, but can dramatically change someone's risk profile. 5. Triglycerides. Not cholesterol, but part of the lipid panel. High triglycerides combined with low HDL is a strong indicator of metabolic syndrome. The key point: your total cholesterol number is almost meaningless without breaking it down into these subcategories and particle types. 4. The myth of good vs. bad cholesterol: what's oversimplified? The idea that LDL is bad and HDL is good is catchy but outdated. This oversimplification misses several important realities. LDL has a purpose. It delivers cholesterol to cells for building hormones, vitamin D, and cell membranes. Without it, your body can't function. HDL is not always protective. If it's dysfunctional, due to chronic inflammation, smoking, or certain diseases, it may fail to remove cholesterol from arteries. Particle size matters more than quantity. Someone with high LDL but mostly large particles may be at lower risk than someone with low LDL but mostly small, dense particles. Inflammation changes everything. Cholesterol only becomes dangerous when it's oxidized and trapped in inflamed arterial walls. This is why lowering LDL at all costs without addressing inflammation, insulin resistance, and oxidative stress is a partial, and sometimes flawed, strategy. 5. What your doctor might not tell you about cholesterol numbers. Your doctor might focus on the big three from your lipid panel: total cholesterol, LDL, and HDL. But here's what's often left out of the conversation. Ratios can matter more than single numbers. The total cholesterol to HDL ratio and triglyceride to HDL ratio are better predictors of cardiovascular risk. Advanced lipid testing exists. Tests like NMR lipoprofile or ApoB give insights into particle number and size, which can be more predictive than LDL alone. Context matters. A high cholesterol reading after a stressful week, illness, or weight fluctuation might not reflect your baseline. Cholesterol changes over time. One snapshot isn't enough, you need trends over months or years. Not all risk is cholesterol-based. Blood pressure, insulin sensitivity, smoking history, and family history can outweigh cholesterol's role in predicting heart events. Doctors often don't explain these because insurance may not cover advanced tests. Guidelines still push simplified targets for LDL. It takes more time to explain complexity than to prescribe medication. 6. The role of inflammation in heart disease versus cholesterol alone. A growing body of research suggests inflammation, not cholesterol itself, is the real starting point for most cardiovascular disease. How it works. Inflammation damages the lining of blood vessels, the endothelium. LDL particles enter the damaged area. The body's immune cells attack LDL, causing further inflammation. Over time, this forms plaques that can rupture, causing heart attacks. Sources of chronic inflammation include processed and sugary foods, chronic stress, smoking, poor sleep, sedentary lifestyle, hidden infections or autoimmune activity. Why this matters after 50. Our immune system becomes less efficient with age, and our inflammatory response becomes more chronic. This means cholesterol particles are more likely to get trapped in inflamed areas, accelerating plaque buildup. 7. How aging changes cholesterol metabolism. After 50, your body's relationship with cholesterol changes in subtle but important ways. 1. Slower clearance from the blood. Your liver's LDL receptors, responsible for pulling LDL particles out of circulation, become less active, leading to naturally higher LDL levels. 2. Hormonal decline. Lower estrogen in women and testosterone in men changes how the body uses cholesterol to make hormones, leaving more circulating in the bloodstream. 3. Shift in particle type. Aging tends to increase small, dense LDL particles, especially if combined with insulin resistance. 4. Reduced adaptability. Younger bodies can adjust cholesterol production based on dietary intake, older bodies often keep producing at the same rate, regardless of diet. 5. Increased oxidation risk. Antioxidant defenses weaken with age, making LDL more vulnerable to oxidation, a key step in plaque formation. This means that after 50, managing cholesterol isn't just about lowering the number, it's about improving particle quality, reducing oxidation, and addressing inflammation. 8. The surprising benefits of cholesterol you never hear about. Cholesterol has been demonized for decades, but the truth is that without it, life wouldn't exist. It's a waxy, fat-like substance found in every cell, and it plays critical roles. Hormone production. Cholesterol is the raw material for making steroid hormones like estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, and cortisol. After 50, when sex hormone levels drop, adequate cholesterol is essential to maintain balance. Vitamin D synthesis. Your skin uses cholesterol to produce vitamin D when exposed to sunlight, which directly affects bone strength, immune resilience, and mood stability. Cell membrane integrity. Cholesterol keeps cell membranes fluid yet stable, allowing nutrients to enter and toxins to leave efficiently. This is particularly important in aging tissues, which are more prone to damage. Brain function. About 25% of your body's cholesterol is in the brain, where it helps form synapses, the connections between neurons that allow learning and memory. Low cholesterol in older adults has been linked to cognitive decline. Bile acid production. Cholesterol is the precursor for bile acids, which are necessary to digest fats and absorb fat-soluble vitamins A, D, E, K. The irony? If you drastically lower cholesterol without medical necessity, you might weaken key functions that protect your health as you age. 9. When high cholesterol may not be as dangerous as you think. The classic belief is high cholesterol equals high heart risk. But studies over the last 15 years show the relationship isn't so straightforward, especially after 50. Context matters. Total cholesterol doesn't tell you particle size, inflammation levels, or oxidative stress, all of which determine whether cholesterol actually harms arteries. Protective in older age? Some research finds that in people over 65, moderately high cholesterol is associated with lower risk of certain diseases and even longer lifespan. This may be due to its role in repairing tissues and supporting immune function. The inflammation factor. Elevated cholesterol in the absence of chronic inflammation may be less dangerous than previously believed. It's when LDL particles become oxidized in an inflamed environment that they trigger plaque formation. Reverse causation risk. Sometimes low cholesterol is a marker of chronic illness, malnutrition, or cancer, not health. That's why blindly aiming for as low as possible can backfire. The takeaway: numbers without context can mislead. You need the whole picture. 10. Modern testing beyond total cholesterol. If your doctor only runs a basic lipid panel, you might be missing vital information. Advanced tests can reveal quality, not just quantity. LDL particle size and number. LDLP, small, dense LDL particles are more likely to penetrate artery walls and oxidize, whereas large, fluffy LDL particles are less harmful. Apolipoprotein B, ApoB, measures the actual number of atherogenic particles in the blood, a better predictor of cardiovascular risk than LDL-C alone. Lipoprotein A, a genetic variant of LDL linked to higher heart disease risk, unaffected by diet but worth knowing early. High-sensitivity C-reactive protein, HSCRP, a marker of inflammation, elevated levels indicate higher risk regardless of cholesterol. Triglyceride-to-HDL ratio, a simple but powerful marker of insulin sensitivity and metabolic health. Coronary artery calcium, CAC, score, a CT scan that measures calcified plaque in arteries, arguably the most direct indicator of heart disease risk. These tests can radically change your treatment plan, sometimes showing you don't need medication when standard numbers say you do. 11. Lifestyle factors that influence cholesterol more than genetics. Genetics do play a role, but lifestyle factors often determine how those genes express themselves. Diet quality, highly processed carbs and sugar raise triglycerides and create small, dense LDL particles, more than dietary cholesterol or saturated fat in many people. Body composition, visceral fat, around the organs, disrupts cholesterol transport and raises inflammation, while lean muscle mass improves lipid balance. Physical activity, regular movement increases HDL, lowers triglycerides, and improves LDL particle size. Even brisk walking can shift your profile positively. Alcohol and smoking, excess alcohol raises triglycerides, while smoking oxidizes LDL, making it more dangerous. Gut health, an imbalanced microbiome can alter bile acid metabolism, affecting how cholesterol is recycled. Chronic stress, prolonged stress increases cortisol, which can raise blood sugar and triglycerides. The empowering truth? Many people can improve their cholesterol dramatically without drugs if they address these factors. 12. Nutrition for balanced cholesterol. What works after 50? Nutrition after 50 needs to support both heart health and hormonal stability. Increase fiber intake. Soluble fiber from oats, beans, apples, and flax binds to cholesterol in the gut, helping eliminate it naturally. Choose healthy fats. Extra virgin olive oil, avocados, nuts, and fatty fish provide monounsaturated and omega-3 fats that improve LDL particle size. Limit refined sugars and flours. These drive triglyceride production and insulin resistance, indirectly harming your cholesterol profile. Add phytosterols, found in seeds, nuts, and whole grains. They block cholesterol absorption in the intestine. Eat more antioxidants. Berries, leafy greens, and colorful vegetables protect LDL from oxidation, the key step in plaque formation. Mind protein sources. Lean poultry, fish, and plant protein support muscle maintenance without excessive saturated fat. Spices and herbs. Garlic, turmeric, and cinnamon have mild cholesterol-lowering effects and reduce inflammation. Small, consistent dietary changes usually have far more impact than drastic, unsustainable diets. 13. Exercise, stress, and sleep, the forgotten cholesterol regulators. Your cholesterol numbers aren't just about food, they're influenced by your daily rhythms. Exercise, both aerobic, walking, cycling, and resistance training, weights, body weight, improve HDL, reduce triglycerides, and help shift LDL toward a healthier pattern. Stress management, chronic stress raises inflammatory markers and can worsen lipid profiles. Practices like meditation, breathing exercises, and yoga have measurable benefits. Sleep quality, short or poor quality sleep disrupts metabolism, increases appetite, and worsens insulin sensitivity, all of which affect cholesterol balance. Consistency matters. Sporadic bursts of health habits don't do much, it's the daily pattern that rewires your lipid metabolism over months. In other words, lowering cholesterol naturally isn't just a kitchen project, it's a lifestyle design project. 14. Medications, statins, pros and cons, and what to ask your doctor. Statins are among the most prescribed drugs in the world, but they're not for everyone. How they work. Statins block an enzyme, HMG-CoA reductase, your body uses to make cholesterol, lowering LDL levels. Proven benefits. In people with existing heart disease or very high risk, statins reduce cardiovascular events and mortality. Potential downsides: muscle pain, fatigue, memory issues, and increased risk of type 2 diabetes in some users. Nutrient depletion. Statins can lower CoQ10, an important nutrient for muscle and heart function. Supplementation may help. Individual risk assessment. Not everyone benefits equally. Those with low inflammation and healthy arterial scans may gain little from medication. Questions to ask. What's my absolute risk of heart disease? Can we run a CAC score before starting medication? What lifestyle changes could I try first? The best approach is an informed one, where medication is a tool, not a reflex. 15. Putting it all together. How to approach cholesterol with wisdom after 50. By midlife, cholesterol isn't just a lab number, it's a reflection of your overall metabolic, hormonal, and inflammatory state. The smart approach involves getting complete testing. Go beyond the basic panel to see the true picture. Addressing inflammation first. If inflammation is low, cholesterol's role may be less threatening. Prioritizing lifestyle changes. Diet, exercise, stress control, and sleep are foundational. Balancing benefits and risks. Understand cholesterol's vital roles, not just its dangers. Personalizing your plan. Age, family history, and health goals should shape your strategy, not one-size-fits-all charts. Ultimately, the goal isn't low cholesterol, it's healthy function so you can stay vibrant, sharp, and strong well into your later years.